Nick, do you think that the extra weight that you had, the 10 extra pounds, also played a big factor in terms of the result from the first fight and the result from the second fight?
No, you know what? I don't think it did. I think, like I said, I think it was just the indecisiveness. Like, I went out there throwing a little bit of punches and then grabbing on him a little bit, and I didn't commit to a takedown. The ones I did commit to, I went on top, and I think that's I had decided to go on top in that fight, and I started going on top. Just like I decided to work my stand-up in this fight, and I started working my stand-up. And the thing was, it was too indecisive in the first round, and before I started to taking it to the ground, I was already hit and I was already cut. And that doctor shouldn't have stopped the fight. You know, it was a small cut. I had blood in my eye in this fight. Yeah, I had blurry, it was blurry on one side, and I'll fight with one eye. I mean, it was the same thing in the last fight. I had one eye was a little blurry, and I was going to win that fight, man. I wasn't going to lose that fight. I think I would have won that fight in the second round. This guy trained how to fight me. He knew how to fight me this time, and he went 5 rounds. And if I had been a little bit less indecisive this time too, I think I would have finished the fight. Like I said, with that guy, it's just it's about committing to one or the other, taking him to the ground or staying up. If I choose one or the other, I don't think I'd run into problems the way I did.
Nick, was it when you got cut? Was there any trepidation, any thoughts of shit? It's whole Elite XC thing all over again?
No, I was just, I was more like, I don't give I'm like, they're not going to stop me this time. I don't care. Yeah. I was angry, but I mean, what are you going to do, man? I knew I screwed up. I got careless and came in, I was rushing in there a little bit too much, and I just had to take a step back and go, why'd I do that? And then, just do the right thing.
With everything being said, are you ultimately happy with your performance, or is there, coming out of this, do you think there's something that you need to work on?
No, well, I'm not. I don't want to say I'm completely happy with my performance. I know what I shouldn't have done now, and so I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it went. I can't complain. I won the fight. So.
Hey Nick, it looked like they were taping your glove right before coming out to the cage, and then they taped your second one in the cage. Were you properly warmed up at the start of the fight? I'll
tell you what, I didn't. Koenig came in, and she shook my hand before the fight, and she had her hands wrapped already, and I'm going, isn't she coming out before me? And I was going, I should probably already be wrapped right now. So it was not going good whatsoever. I had a really late warm-up. And, not that I didn't have a really good corner with me, but we were just kind of relaxing a little bit too much back there. So I was really in a hurry to get I was Josh Thompson's fight, and I'm being wrapped, and I'm like, oh my God. No, I'm just going like, please don't get knocked out. I'm like going, I'm rooting for Josh, like, come on, Josh. Don't tap out, or, so. But, yeah.
It looked like to me, personally, that in the third round, you really started to get your rhythm. Was there, at what point for you personally, did it click? Like, okay, I'm on this roll now, I got him.
I think I am a slow starter, a lot of the time. That's why I had a good plan for the second round. And then I think I screwed up a little bit in the second round, but I just knew I had to pull it together, and that's what I did.
Nick, do you think switching stances, because you really switched it up, it seemed like quite a lot between fighting southpaw and orthodox, you think that confused him at all?
I think it screwed with him a lot. I think, I was standing southpaw just when I was standing across from him, and then when we came across, I was standing conventional, so I think he was like, whoa.
Did you feel more comfortable and safer in a conventional stance?
I did with him, because I knew he had trained for southpaws, and he did. I got hit when I was standing southpaw, It's the wrong type of guy to be standing southpaw with. He's a real boxer, and he should, I noticed in my sparring, I switched it up, and I stood conventional, and I picked it up and put it together, and I was like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fight conventional, because I conventional takedowns, I'm really a lot better at finishing takedowns if I shoot in standing that way. So.
Is this something we're going to see more of in the future, and are you going to start?
You're going to see it all. You
Awesome.
know, do it all. So.
It seemed like after the end of the second round, you weren't keeping your distance in the second round quite as much, it seemed like. And then was something said to you in between the second and third rounds? Because like, you came out right away, went for a shot, and then it seemed like you kept your distance really well from that point forward.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me one more time?
It seemed like you came right out in the third round, went for a shot, didn't get it obviously, but you kept your distance. In the second round, it seemed like you didn't keep.
I wanted him to throw some punches. I was doing all the punching, I felt like, and I needed him to throw some punches. I knew he was only throwing 1-2, so I'd counter, you know, I'd counter with 3 punches after that. So I was trying to get him to throw and hoping those would bounce off my gloves a little bit, and I'd counter, you know. So I have to watch the the tape and see if that was actually working for me. But maybe, I suppose it wasn't. But I don't know. It's I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Yeah, Nick, you're usually more of a boxer. In this fight, you threw a lot of weird kicks, kind of a lot of spinning kicks, a couple axe kicks. That's something you've been trying to work in more. Is that just to throw them?
You know what? I actually didn't work on that stuff enough. I knew I should have. And then, I just I knew I should have been throwing kicks at the bag and throwing kicks on people, but I really didn't have a lot of time for this fight. I took this fight on a short notice, and I just I put my my boxing together, and I was just like, hey, we're gonna go out there and box this guy, And that's what I'm saying. I knew I could beat this guy boxing. I knew I'm a better boxer than he is. And I think you would have seen more of that if I hadn't even have gone for any takedowns at all. I don't think I would have shot for takedowns except for I was already going on top right away because I had knocked him down. So I don't know. I guess I felt like I was going on top, so I kind of liked that feeling. So I wanted to shoot in on him. But I'm not a wrestler. But at times they do have decent takedowns, so just trying to put him on his back a little bit.
Any thoughts at all of? I know you have one boxing match. Any thoughts of boxing more?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to pay me enough. But yeah, sure I would. I'd love to. I'd love to challenge. I'd love to fight those guys. I'd love to be, I'd love to be in that sort of competition with all those Super Six and all that. I got a really good sparring with some of those guys, and I feel like if I was training full time like they were, that I would be on their level, Not that I am on their level, I feel like I do well with them, but by the time they really are close to their fight, just like me, when I'm really close to my fight, I'm really ready for an MMA fight, and when they're close to their fight, they're really ready for a boxing fight. And I think that if I was being paid for that, and that's what I'd be getting ready for, I'd be able to. I'd be a force to be reckoned with in that sort of tournament.
Did you see the final punch stats? It was surprising to see that KJ had thrown more punches. Did you see the final punch stats at all?
No, but I figured that I wasn't going to try to throw too many punches because I knew that he would get swinging wild and miss.
You look to be the busier fighter.
It's just that he was throwing those punches. I think I was making him miss a lot though, So
for the media and for Nick right here, the total strikes thrown, Diaz was 443 and Diaz was 611. And the total strikes landed was 310 to 194. Power punches was 103 to 134. So it's actually very interesting, the breakdown. But from my opinion, the flow of the fight after the second round definitely went. And even the first round when he dropped KJ, right? The second round I thought it was pretty even, and then he started controlling after the third round, and then I think clearly. Control the fight the rest of the way through. But guys, you know what? This was one of the epic battles I've seen in Strikeforce, and we're very proud to have Mr. Diaz here be our world champion, and definitely should be number one, number two in that weight division. And we've had some great fights in this building with Fedor and all the great fights with Kong and Frank and this is right up there with him, and we're very proud. Nick, congratulations on the victory, and we look to have you fight again very soon. Maybe.